Okay, we've just gone to the lunch break on day 4 of the Undercover Policing Inquiry. We've been hearing from Sara. I'm joined here actually. There's not just me and Liz here. We're also off screen. We've got Jessica, who doesn't appear on screen because of anonymity. What did you make of? You're special, yeah. What did you make of the? Of what we heard today from Sara?
Well, I just felt sorry for her rather because it was such a long time ago and she couldn't remember. And
Yeah.
I don't blame her. And most of the stuff she was on, she was sort of saying, I can't remember. But I mean, what she could remember was pretty appalling, you know, like the letter and the children living around the corner and him sort of saying, oh, it's just an ex-partner when it was his wife. I mean, it's just all the usual to see every time you think that. It's like an onion, isn't it? You know, like the more you peel, the more you cry. Every time you peel a layer off, you think this isn't going to be that. And it's just worse. I mean, you know, I just don't know what to say. I haven't got any words, really. I mean, it's just sort of like hearing that repeated pattern again of, you know, that sort of job where they can go missing easily because he was some sort of filming on location, wasn't it? Just like Matt with his van drivers, so they've got excuses to go off, and it's just so easy for them to deceive us, and I think they think it's a big joke, really.
Yeah, that heavy use of trauma, which like so many of the undercover cops have been like engaged in. This one was particularly erroneous. Like, so basically, they'd been going out for a year, and then he disappeared for 2 weeks over Christmas. And then when he reappeared with this letter, which detailed all this like childhood abuse that he experienced, that his best friend had been raped by his headmaster in boarding school and then committed suicide, that he'd started his first sexual relationship with a 35-year-old teacher, that he was incapable of continuing any sexual relationship with Sara. This was all incredibly traumatic
but it's
to
so
hear.
manipulative.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're really playing on somebody's heartstrings by doing that and trying to get their sympathy in order to, you know, when you think what you're doing, it's just
yeah, it really gross and really like designed in order to.
That's what makes you sick. Is that design, that absolute sort of like, you know, plan and design.
And I mean, and like also telling Sara that she couldn't share it with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, kind of inviting her to join this conspiracy of like silence with him, which, you know, is. It's something we've seen again and again from the undercover cops of like kind of going, oh, this is secret, and you know, and all this stuff, you know.
It's isolating, isn't it? It isolates us from
That's
the people
what
that would
abusers do, is isolate people from their friends. So the people that she would have spoken to and got support from, she couldn't because he says it can't happen.
Yeah, and also it risks then him exposing one thing he said to one person versus one thing he says to someone else. But it's interesting because there's so many different things that we've heard where it's, you know, you can name at least like 5 other undercovers that they've all done the same thing. You know,
you
the
just
whole
see that pattern of behaviour again and again and again and again until you just want to vomit.
There's, you know, there's so many things you think, oh yeah, that's just like, you know, that's exactly like, you know, shitface, or exactly like, you know, Mac HM1. You know, it makes it sort of very, very much more so as real as like tactics and tradecraft and something that was handed on from from one officer to the next and that, you know, the way it is all so similar.
So incredibly similar. One of the things that that James Thomson did was claim that his first wife had tricked him into having a child, which was something that Bob Lambert had said about his experience of fatherhood, that he'd been tricked into it as a means of like eliciting some sort of sympathy from his target.
They tried to elicit sympathy from these women.
I mean, he obviously didn't learn, so trick me once, trick me again, then trick me again. You know, and I have 3 children. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is so manipulative, and again, it's, you know, it just highlights as well, you know, sort of another one of the women is on the stand giving evidence, giving deeply emotional, personal, intimate, difficult evidence, you know, being asked, you know, really sort of like terrible questions, and then you've got, you know, the gutless cowards, spy cops that, you know, feign, oh, I can't possibly appear, I'm ill, or they'll leave the country so they don't have to appear. You know, it makes me sick to the pit of my stomach. You know, they're cowards. You know, it's, I mean, I can't wait to listen to what the, you know, that scumbag James Thomson has got to say.
Gives his evidence.
Yeah, that's unless he becomes ill in the meantime and can't show up. You know, there's always that.
But what pisses me off as well is when the women are giving evidence, it's kind of genuine and from the heart. When the officers are doing it, they're still just doing their job. Do you know what I mean? They're still, you know, they continue to lie, and they're still in that sort of SDS role when they're on there.
Not quite. It's. I mean, it is. It is really like the difference between the two is so galling and so obvious. We'll be hearing more from Sara this afternoon. Is there anything else you want to say about this morning's evidence?
No.
Fair play. Thanks for joining us. There will be a small section this afternoon, and we'll do another recap video after then. Bye for now.